Hey, yes, sir. Welcome to the Mission Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Butler, and I'm honored to have with me today an entrepreneur, a businessman, a rapper, an artist, and most importantly, a father of two, Mr. Javonte White, also known as the stage name, Raida Bankz. Hey, Raida, hit him with a hot 16. Let's start it off with fire. Give him 16 off the top. Let's go.
Hey, look, he's out the top, man. I'm gonna take him back to On Your Block. You know, I think this is one of the ones. It's really one of the ones that really started. I would say my solo career, but I had a group back then. It wasn't more or less a group. I was managing artists, including myself. So you know, just prior to this moment right now, you know, just working with Brian Butler. You know, this is around the period when I was working with Brian. You know,
yes.
So, yeah, I think it'd be right to spit that.
Give it to him.
Like, yeah, pull up on your block.
Yes.
808 stay banging. See your face in the paint. Why the dash rearranging? Gas tank on full. Yeah, my life high maintenance. Draped up and designed up. My wardrobe so stainless. You know, that was the hook. Yeah.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
And that song actually, I checked. It's been up, posted for about, I would say probably about 8 years now, or maybe a little bit longer. And that song actually has like almost 4,000 plays on it. You know,
yeah, buddy.
That was like minimum promotion.
Yeah,
me promoting it or whatever. You know, it was still moving, making numbers. And a lot of people like it. You know, everywhere I went to perform and stuff like that, they was on it. You know.
Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. That's fire, man. Hey, I love it. I love it. Bars. Hey, so I gave a brief introduction about, you know, who you are. Well, give me a little bit of detail about Texas Young Muzik, your whole movement, your company, what you got going. Give me a little detail on it for the people.
Hey, YTM, Young Texas Music. I started that back in Waco. It was pretty much, you know, the history of Young Texas Music. It started as a management, which was versatile grind. You know, a lot of people, if you know the roots of Young Texas Music for sale, like yourself, you know, like for yourself, you know, Mr. Brian Butler, you know, he knows the roots. Be kicking it off, you know, seeing the progress, the growth of where it actually came from. But like I said, Young Texas Music actually came from a management. It's actually just supposed to be a brand. It was just supposed to be a clothing brand. It turned into, you know, a record label, which is the label I push today, you know. But yeah, it started from a management, versatile grind management. You know, the slogan for that was grinding is an everyday struggle. Meaning anybody can relate to that, you know, business people, entrepreneurs, you know, people that's out here just grinding every day. It doesn't matter what your occupation is. Everybody has some type of time what they want to get to the next level in grinding. So I'm trying to get there, you know, like just like for instance, bodybuilding. You know, my grandfather, he's a professional retired professional bodybuilder. He actually trains bodybuilders. You know, you know, so it's all about the progress. It's progression. Really, it's just progression. You know, so that really, this is a background for it. You know, Young Texas Music really just doing positive stuff. A lot of positive stuff.
Facts. That's big facts. Hey, you know, that's incredible. And it's incredible that a young man such as yourself has been driven and dedicated for so long. But to give the people full understanding and appreciation of your grind, let's start back in the early days. Let's talk about your childhood, growing up, some of the challenges there, and you know, how you persevered and got to where you are today.
You know, at that time, you know, I was like 15, 16, really just growing, thinking I'm an adult, you know, trying to do my own thing, you know what I'm saying? So it was really just more or less the group of friends I had. I don't know, you know, really to make a decision of, you know, being gang related or in a gang, what that entail of, but we was doing different stuff. You know, I'm not really gonna speak on what we was doing, but you know, I was more or less focused on trying to get some money. I wasn't trying to be out here being a crash dummy for somebody. You know, I wasn't trying to be a crash. That was my whole point of, you know, what I was explaining to the people. I was saying I am not, you know, trying to be a crash dummy. You know, it's the fact that, you know, we all in the same group or affiliated with the same thing. And, you know, I'm just talking about my inner circle at the time. I'm not talking about any, like, my inner circle at the time. Now, I'm not talking about even in being in, like, a gang or whatever, but, you know, you have your inner circle and you're not even locked in with your inner circle. It's more or less that it's a competition or it's a beef situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was like drawn from being like affiliated with the people I was affiliated with. So I was like, you know, I would rather just keep doing what I'm doing over here, making money and doing my thing instead of just trying to be a part of a group that's not even 100% into what I'm doing, you know. But it was some type of affiliation to the streets with it. You know, I really kind of backed away from it a lot more when I started seeing like a lot of, you know, backstabbing moves. I guess you could of course say street terminology, grimy or whatever, however you want to, you know, two-face it, whatever. I'm like, you know, I'm more of a hustler. You know, I always been more of the grinder. So I was like, you know, I will focus on that. That's what I was focused on. So that would really turn me to just do my own thing with that.
Well, when I met you, you were Javonte White, and
hey,
you was working at Subway. And let me tell you something. I tell this story often. I told it to my mother. I came in my uniform and you asked us, hey, you know, what is that? What do you do? Et cetera, et cetera. And I have been hearing people all the time would ask me, kids or youth and people, and I would tell them what we do and that I run a program and I need workers. And I tell people to come to the office, they want to interview, but they would never come. And then when I told you and you showed up, like, hey man, what's up? What's up with the job? How can I get down? And I was like, man, that impressed me right there. And that you actually followed through and came through and showed up. I knew you was about your business and about your grind. That impressed me. So, you know, we started working together, and man, you did tremendous things for the youth in Waco. You did tremendous things for a lot of young kids of color that had no father or mentor or positive male role model to look up to. You know, Pastor Adams still talk about you to this day about what you were doing with the kids in Waco, and you know, tremendous efforts there, brother.
Man, I appreciate that, man. That's definitely a lifelong. I mean, I feel like that's an achievement for me. I still have like the medal that I received from you when I left Waco from the Boy Scouts. You know what I'm saying? Now that I look back and I see kids out here, you know, with their uniforms on, I was like, man, I was a part of that. I'm able to say I achieved something that too many people haven't done. You know what I'm saying? To this day, my name is in history. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
So that's big. I feel like that's big for the African American community for real.
Fact. That is a fact. That is a fact.
Achievement.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what drew you from, you know, I hated to lose you from my team, but you moved to Dallas. What drew you into the music industry and that hustle and grind?
I really got serious about it after high school. You know, I started trying to do, you know, little stuff here and there. But it was more or less just getting serious about it. I was still trying to be in the streets and parties and stuff like that. But really, I think I didn't get too serious about it until after like 2010, like what? So I said after high school, like 2014. 2015. That's when I really started getting serious and started trying to push the business. But it's always been my life long-term goal to accomplish that. So I'm guessing that's why I wanted to make a career. Even when I was partially in college trying to pursue that, you know, I was going to school. I was enrolled for audio engineering, you know, like to do engineering in the studio. I should have stuck with that, but just working, working, being on my own and working, but I should have just locked down and finished what I had to do. But back then, it really wasn't on my mind to lock in. I was locked in, but I started getting sidetracked.
Yeah.
I started getting sidetracked.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, hindsight is 2020, you know what I mean? But the fact remains that you to look at where you are and the things that you have done at such a young age, man, you might not have been totally locked in like now when you look back on it, how you wish you would have been, but you was locked in, brother. You was a focused young man. That's seems like it's just part of your character, who you are, though.
Appreciate it.
Hey, I see that the late great Nipsey Hussle is one of your inspirations. What is it about Nipsey that you admire?
Hey, man, first and foremost, rest in peace to him, man. His music. His music, man, is like, I would just say, just from the last album was like, if you listen to, like, when he released it, it went hard. But like after that incident happened with him, and you listen to it, it was like bone chilling, because it seemed like, I don't know, it was just some kind of, it was some feeling. It was a weird feeling, but it was a good feeling though. But I feel like that was one of his best albums, and is probably gonna be one of the best albums for the next 10 to 20 years. MC or artist, being an artist, not just a rapper, because it's all kind of people out here trying to rap nowadays. But he really put stuff together that you can see and relate to. A lot of people can relate to, even on all levels. I know you first, just being around you and knowing you personally, I know you wouldn't listen to certain things just because of what you vision and what you locked in on, but for you to lock in with Nipsey, has to say a lot,
Yes,
so
sir.
a lot of people from all cultures was able to relate to him. His business mind, giving out the knowledge, in interviews. So it's a lot to be inspired from Nipsey. When he came to Dallas the last time before he passed away, it was something telling me, hey man, go. It was a meet and greet. I should have went. And it happened months later. I was like, man, I should have went to that show, man. That was legendary. Sometimes you gotta do some stuff to, you gotta do things because you never know, what's gonna happen after that. So you might miss that opportunity. So,
That's a fact. And when you talk about Nipsey as well, and he's part of my inspiration as well, things that I've gone through and transformation that I've made. I read his book, I followed his story, I love the messaging, and the fact that the things that I loved about him and still do is that he's an independent thinker, a positive Black male role model, believed in taking care of his kids, and the hustle and grind, and the fact that he stuck with it year after year after year. See, people know him now because he won his tragic passing, but then two, because of his music and that record. But this dude was grinding for years, and he just stuck to it, stayed with the mission. He knew what the mission was, and he stuck to it. And that kind of reminds me of you and how you stick to it. You know what your mission is, and all these other things over here, but you seeing what your goals are. And that's part of the reason I wanted to have you on the show, because this show is about people that have started in one place and transcended and worked hard and grind to get to another. So man, kudos to you on that. Hey, so
man, appreciate it.
Oh yeah, 100%. What's some of the rap artists? I know you work with rap artists. I've seen and know that you've traveled state to state, putting in the grind, and you got your t-shirt business. And so, what's some of the places you've been able to see and some of the rap artists you've been able to work with through your journey?
I mean, just recently I did go travel out to, I traveled out to New York. I was out there in New York, Manhattan. Man, I was in the Bronx. I actually took the trip by myself, but both trips I'm going to talk about. I took this trip by myself. I call it promocation. It's really like, vacation, but we promoting. I'm promoting on vacation. But it's not a vacation, but we working. You know what I'm saying? But I went to New York. I flew into Queens. I guess that may be the smaller airport they have right there. When you first go, I flew in there. Actually ended up staying in Queens too. Stayed in Queens. Went to Manhattan, checked it out, Times Square and all that. It was so many cars, man. People were blowing nonstop. Man, they were blowing so much. I was like, bro, why are y'all blowing? Being Texas, it's not common. You know what I'm saying? But people just to blow their horn nonstop.
Right.
And down here, we'll take that more or less like an insult. You know, I mean, I guess it's insulting up there too to them. You know what I'm saying? They used to it though. So it's different. It's definitely different because I was driving. I was like, bro, never again. When I come out here, I'm riding the Uber. I went out there, New York. That was in October. Both of these trips in October. Then I went to Atlanta the same weekend. So I went out there, and I actually, legendary DJ Unk, I ran into him. I was actually chopping it up with him. I've been chopping it up with him for a whole minute. Being locked in, DJ Unk, he did Walk It Out, 2-step, which back some years ago, but people still listening to it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are sampling these tracks. Those tracks that were released 20, 10, 15 years ago, people are sampling these tracks. But they won't tell you because they want all the publicity fame. If you don't know, you won't. That's just like
you won't know.
20 years ago, they would sample the track. If you didn't know the original track, you just wouldn't know. But you be like, oh, in your head, hey man, this song go hard. You know what I'm saying? But just not knowing, maybe your parents would listen to the original track years ago. So you gotta know music. But I went to DJ locally, locally Texas wise. I'm not just saying locally, just in Dallas. But I got music with Big Tuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He a known legend. Lucky Luciano. He was actually on your block. He from Houston, but he doesn't. He doesn't do heavy rap. Like he does like gospel music now.
I like that.
He converted over. I respect the transition on that too. And he a real businessman too. He really kind of helped me in the beginning stages of the grind. Do or die. Do or die. I'm locked in with Do or Die. Midwest legends. But man, I done work with a lot of people. Ken Folk, Kia Shine. He was out on BET. Man, it's a lot of legends I'm locked in with, So
yes, sir.
I just gotta move smart.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you think about it, the fact that a lot of our youth, particularly youth of color, we struggle because the only thing we know is our neighborhood. The only thing we know is this circumference that we live in, right? And the fact that you were able to meet these people and then get out and go to New York City, like you got a legendary story just about people honking horns that people never know, never understand, never see. Right. The more you see, the more you grow, the more you know it's something else out there besides what I'm seeing right here in my neighborhood. You know? So that's beautiful, man, that you've been able to get out and have those experiences. And then you giving them experiences and that knowledge to your kids. So that's beautiful, man. Hey, so you're an independent artist. What's that grind like? Because when I say independent, for people that don't really know, independent artist means you don't have a big label behind you pushing and throwing money at your songs and your movement. So how's it being an independent artist? What's that grind?
I mean, that comes with its ups and downs. Every independent artist gonna do what they do. I mean, really not to sugarcoat it. I mean, if you really not putting a big budget behind your music, it's just gonna do what it's gonna do. Either you promote it or you not. But I mean, it would make a difference if you did have a label behind you. That's just for budgeting, helping you push your material out there into a bigger fan base or a bigger audience.
Right.
But being an independent artist, a good thing about that is if you're independent, you investing into your own craft, your own label, your own merch or whatever, you're able to make your own business decisions. At the end of the day, you don't have to answer to nobody.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I like about being independent. Independently, I done made a lot of big moves.
Yeah.
As an upcoming artist, I done made some good moves.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with being independent. Like I said, it do come with a downfall. If you're trying to make bigger moves, you just want to have a bigger budget,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you have to take that into consideration. That's why I think a lot of artists are scared to start pushing their brand or pushing music. Maybe they don't have the budget,
Right.
that's a downfall for them.
Yeah.
It's some things I want to do, that I gotta have a bigger budget. But I'm
Yeah.
not worried about that because I'm focused on what I'm doing, and it's
Yeah.
and it's getting me there. So I
Right.
just gotta keep working until I get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But it's gonna come.
Yes.
So being an independent artist, man, is not bad.
Yeah.
You just gotta put the work in to get noticed by the right people. And once you do
Right.
that, you put the money behind to what you're trying to get noticed. They gonna tap in with you. It's not hard. I think right now is the easiest time for somebody to not even if you don't get no money, but to get a viral moment or a situation that can put your name out there to where people are now looking at you.
Right.
Not just when you do something, but every day.
Yeah.
You that
Yeah.
viral moment. That one
Yeah.
viral moment may be all you need. Like right now, you
Yeah.
got this guy right now going around Instagram. I ain't stressing today. Throw your
Yeah.
shoulders, feel the vibe. Everybody
Yeah.
knows
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
That really originated from the June bug, and that was like a year or two ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Other dance came
Yeah.
from that dance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Right.
everybody is on that at this point in time because it fits what's going on right now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The June bug drop, that was fitting that what was going on right then. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
it's a time and place for everything. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Yeah.
Yep. That's a fact. Yeah. Hey, so what's a thing or two that surprised you about the rap industry?
Man, I mean, just recently, I would just say the promotion. I mean, not the promotion, but the networking. Networking. The network is really the main key thing. Just getting in. Talking to people, trying to get a business relationship with them, and how easy it is now. To get connected. I think back in the day it was more harder. You would have to know people are going to the right place at the right time, right person. But now that you have the social media and stuff like that, I find that interesting because it's like people are like using it. It's like you got to use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Free. I mean, it's free at the same time. It's gonna still cost you something, but I think that's probably like the most interesting thing I done seen in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Just the social media, how it helps people, get up to the next level.
Right. Right. Yeah. 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 So, what's something that frustrates you about the music business, the rap industry?
Oh man, seeing trash artists go. I mean, but I'm not a hater though. I'm not
Right.
saying it in
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just be like, I know it's a lot of handful of people maybe not putting in more work than what they get or showing. So I mean, it's all about the investment, man. If you got it to invest, you gonna make it to the next point. That's why I say I find it interesting for people to just, oh, hey, I'm somebody now. You be like, man, where did you come from? You know what I'm saying? So like, it's all about the investments, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the investments, and you can't even be mad at that. I mean, really,
Right.
I don't have any disappointments about it. I mean, it's hard to have disappointment nowadays with the music industry because social media and the news makes everything so biased these days. So
Right.
it's kind of hard to choose a side or pick a side, but I stay neutral in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's not like it's not. I don't try to stress about it. It was a big deal trying to see or do what what's in right now. Just trying to keep up with a wave now. We don't follow no waves. We're just gonna do our thing.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ain't gonna follow no waves.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's kind of like what Nipsey talked about. You know, just do you. You keep putting the work in, keep grinding, and you know where if everybody going left, maybe it's time to go right. You know what I mean? That herd mentality. You know, that's now I don't know. I'm not a believer in it myself, but hey, so they say right now that being a rapper is one of the, if not the most dangerous job that you can have. Well, we got these senseless deaths and killings of PNB Rock and Takeoff and we can name many others. Nipsey, as we talked about, Tupac, Biggie, dating all the way back. I mean, you know, what's your thoughts on that, and what are you doing to ensure that environment doesn't get into your environment?
Man, as far as that go, it's been times to where like you can go out, you know what I'm saying, and just be in public. For instance, a good setting would be South by Southwest. Every artist damn near that's been out, then been to South by Southwest. That's right in the heart of Texas, in Austin, on 6th Street. You know what I'm saying? That's out of public. Even when I was out there, I done seen Slim Thug walking the streets. I done seen man, we didn't see a whole hell of a lot of artists out there, you know. And, but in the Migos, they didn't been out there. They was out there in 2015. You know what I'm saying? But you know, stuff like that, all the situations, Nipsey and all that. Man, I think it's more or less about the people you have around and just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, and then if you just internationally known or nationally known as an artist, you know, what you put in your music, that really draws attention a lot, because it's gonna be somebody that's gonna be hating on you. You think you got people hating on you at the bottom? It's gonna be more people hating on you at the top. You gonna have haters you don't even know about. So now just not having to watch your circle or watch the people in your city. You gotta watch the world. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if anything, I wouldn't be announcing my moves. That's why lately I just been moving smart, not hard. You know, just moving low key. Even you announcing your moves and what you doing and where you at. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta do that. I see a lot of artists that's mainstream. If they come to a city or a state, they might post a picture on the wall. If you know where that picture's at, then you know where they at. If you don't know where that picture at, where it's posted, you ain't gonna know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I can post a picture of my shoes and you see the flow tiles. If you know where them flow tiles at in that building, you'll know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know where I'm at, if I'm not telling you, hey, I'm over in California right now on the east side or whatever, you know, you're not gonna know.
Yeah. That's like the dangers, the up and the bad with social media. You know, that's another example of that. And to speak forward even more, it's words have power, and we attract things to us. You know, when you speak on death all the time, and you dare people to approach you and challenge you and dare people to take your chain, and when you put that energy out there, that's the type of energy that come back to you. So, you know, I feel like I hate seeing black on black crime. I hate seeing our young brothers exit this world early when they got so much potential and can help so many other brothers that really need this help. And I hate seeing crime in general. So I say, you know, and I know you smart. I know you know how to move, and your mind has been a positive mind and giving back for years. So we need more leaders like you. You know, we need more youngsters and rap artists like yourself. So when you know that the industry you're in, you mentioned it yourself. It's a lot of kids, a lot of people want to be rappers. It's 50-year-olds out here grabbing mics, talking about spitting, you know, riding bikes and all. You know what I mean? So, but to the young kids that really want to be serious about it, what would you say to a youngster right now that's wanting to get into the rap industry?
Really follow your heart, man. You know, because I wish I would have followed mine a long time ago and seek out information about it. It's easier nowadays because of technology. I can't stress that enough. If I would have had Google in 2003, you know what I'm saying, I would probably be a millionaire right now. You know what I'm saying? So use your resources, utilize your tools.
Yes.
You know, utilize your resources. You know, if your mama knows somebody or your daddy, preferably your daddy would know somebody. It's 2022. I'm damn near every black father in the hood, 85% have probably been in the studio or wanted to be a rapper. So, and they know it just takes, it starts with the parenting, man. It really starts with the parenting.
Yeah.
Like right now, my daughter, she finna be 4 next week. She in dance, you know what I'm saying? Standing behind that, you know. So it's all about, it starts with the parents. If you see your child, so I'm speaking to parents and the kid. You know, if you see your child has interest in something, try to work with your child to put them in that, because you never know what that'll result to. You know, maybe if I would have had proper guidance at a younger age, I could have been a lot further, but maybe that wasn't God's plan for me. You know, he had a different plan for my situation. But you got some people that's been in the entertainment industry since they was kids. You know, like the Jackson 5, Bow Wow, people, Lil Romeo. So they were successful at what they were doing because they had people with the right guidance. You know, it was about following, like a kid right now, follow your heart, speak on it to your parents, what you're trying to do, and find that guidance. You know, that God is gonna take you a long way. You know what I'm saying? So that's my message and word to advice to any kid trying to, you know, pursue, you know, the rap industry or whatever you're trying to do in the industry. Follow your heart.
Yeah, that's real good advice. Hey, you talked about, you know, your daughter turning 4. You know, what has fatherhood done for you? How has that changed you?
Man, definitely made me a changed man, a changed person. You know, being in Waco, after, you know, I was going out every other weekend or maybe every weekend partying, favorite party, stuff like that. You know, I was focused on work, but it really wasn't. I was trying to get out of work to go party. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, you know, I'm a father now, so I got to make sure that I'm making the right moves, the right decisions, setting the right examples from my daughter and my son. So, I mean, they both love me. They both love me. I feel the love. So, I just try to keep staying positive for them. But it's definitely a good experience, man.
Yeah, man, that's great. And since I've known you, you've always been like a community activist. You've always given back. You've done, when it wasn't even on my mind, you were talking about toy drives, free concerts, you know, feeding the community. You know, where does that come from? Why is that important to you?
Man, I really don't, to tell you the truth, I don't know where that, you know, transpired, how that transpired. Maybe because I was going to the schools and just working with the kids and saying, I don't know, I guess I seen bigger visions for the program. The program I was working in. So I never really I don't think I recall from that time doing stuff, you know, like community work before then. I got into it. It just, I don't know, it just started sparking. You know, like I said, I seen a bigger vision for the program. That's what kind of made me want to, you know, invest in the community. You know, give back to, I'm not gonna say invest in the community, give back to the community. You know, possibly that if I seen ways I could help, you know, that's what I did. You know, so
yeah. That's tremendous. Hey, I can't stress enough, you know, how proud I am of a man like you and of you and your progression from the time that I've seen you in like 2010 to today. It's commendable. And, you know, I put you in a rare category with people like a young man I know in Killeen now named Devin Morgan. My son, Brian Butler Jr., Tyler Butler, my youngest son, the hustler, you know, he's out here, he got his own mobile detailing business.
I think I've seen
it. Jordan Butler is detail. All my kid, my daughter, I mean, super grinder and just at it and know what they want. And it's a rarity to see people like you all, youngsters like you all. So I commend you, and I tip my hat, man. And let me tell you something else. It's just an absolute honor to have you on the Welcome to the Mission podcast. I appreciate you making time for the little guy. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. You know, you're a man that don't forget your roots. So, man, hey, but let's do this. As we exit, We gave him a 16 at the beginning. Let's give him a hot 16 as we exiting. Let's go.
Hey.
Raida Bankz. Give him that work. Let's go.
You used to give him the work. Oh,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Which one you want? I'm trying to see.
Give him some heat, brother. All
right, man. I'm gonna do the super gremlin. I say, see my daughter. Hold on, give my bad.
You good? You good? Fire. Let's go.
I say, see my son walk and talk, yeah, that shit make me smile. Hear my daughter talk with knowledge, yeah, that shit make me proud. Walking now on my kids' hell, now that ain't my style. We just blew it back on Disney, flew to Florida, and with wild black fathers, we the truth, we keep it playing in the South. As if from another man, ain't never coming out their mouth. Fuck sitting on my ass, I keep it popping in the trap. Every day I'm showing niggas what this hustle shit about. I'm just vibing with my kids.
Yes, sir.
We gonna do it big.
Do it big.
Thank you.
Every
day I'm on the grind like a bitch.
Yeah. Oh man, bars, fire right there, brother. Hey, Mr. Bankz, tell me, if the people want to hear more music, if the people want to see the grind, where are you on these internets? How they reach you?
Man, you can find me on YouTube, Raida Bankz, RAIDABANKZ. You can just type that in anywhere, man. I'm active on Google. Whatever you type my name in, it's gonna pop up. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. Instagram, Facebook, all that. RAIDABANKZ. Everything gonna pop up.
Love it. You heard it here, folks. Support this young brother. He's doing positive things. He's helping others. He's investing in the community. Hey, let's give back. All right.